cattle feeding operation here, one that I do some work at to take care of. One of the problems is right now, if I can get up here where we can see without falling, is right up there. Now you can't see it good from this angle, but some stuff has come loose because it probably wasn't put up right in the first place. That means it wasn't me that did it. So we're going to fix it. I'll take you up there and we'll show you. Walk around here. And once we're done fixing it, I might give you a little tour of the operation here. This is the part where they make feed for the cows. And it's really pretty interesting. All right, I'm going to stop. We'll be back when we get up there. All right, we're up here now. This is the motor. What this one does right here, this motor runs an auger, a screw type auger, that runs down that pipe and empties corn out of this tank right here. There's a lot of corn in that tank. And I'm thinking it would be better used to make good bourbon, but they like to feed cows. I guess that's okay. I like steak and hamburgers too. So, what happened is, this little conduit, little flexible thing right here, that has the wires in it, goes to the motor, came undone, which is not good, but it especially isn't good when it causes the wires to arky-sparky. That's not an okay thing. So that's what we got to fix. So I'm going to fix that, and then we'll be back. Okay, so the first thing we got to do now that we got the cover off of it, and by the way, when I was taking the cover off, this nut right here was screwed on to hold the cover on, and it was only about 2 threads on there, so when I undid it, it dropped off down yonder. It made me pretty happy for a moment. I'm glad I didn't have the camera on for y'all to hear the magic words that I use, hoping to bring it back. So anyway, what we got to do, we have to mark the wires so they go back on the same way they came off, because that determines the direction the motor runs. And then we got to fix this mess right here too, so I brought up some parts and pieces to do that with. Those guys down there, it's called Chinese money. What it does, it makes the big hole smaller so that we can put everything together. The idea is to keep it sealed up so we don't get rats and water and everything else in there. But first things first, we got to mark the wires. I'm going to mark them, these colors of tape right here, so that when I take it apart, it'll go back together, and then I'm going to pull off all that business right there and get to where the wires are and see how bad they are. I might just be able to tape them up and they'll be okay. May have to replace the wires or shorten them or something, don't know yet. So, let's mark those wires. Okay, so, just to give you a look right there. Lots of steak, hamburger, yay. Whoops, wrong way. I swear I'm never going to figure this camera out. I'll bet if I live 100 years, I won't get this thing figured out right. Okay, here we go. All right, I got this piece put on there, got the Chinese money. Chinese money just means reducing element washers, RE washers. And like you can see, it made the hole bigger. Made the bigger hole smaller, so that piece will fit on there. We got the wires marked. If I can keep from falling off the back here, this piece is a little shaky. The wires here, I got the flex fixed, so that's good. We can put it back on, it'll keep the water and everything out. Now I got to tape up the wires. I was looking at the wires to see how much damage was done. And it damaged, this is the only one that's really damaged, this conductor right here. And it damaged it a little bit, but because of the amperage it just pulls and the size of the wire it is, then it didn't reduce it by a significant enough percentage to keep the motor from running. Now I'm going to come back and replace it later, but for right, in fact I'll replace all of them because they've all got a little arc damage on them, only on the neoprene coating on the outside though. So I'm going to come back later and change it. Right now I'm just going to tape it up, and then they can continue running, won't shut down their operation, they can keep the corn going. So that's the next thing. I'm going to tape that up, put it all back together, and then I'll be back. I just realized I left out a couple of little details here that probably nobody will care about except my boy Oscar. he had been wanting me to show some of this kind of stuff I do because he and I both do electrical work, so he thought it'd be interesting. What we're working with here is a 3-phase electrical system coming in at about 480 volts nominal. Nominal just means it might be a little more, might be a little less, but that's what it runs on. Like 115 volts is nominal, 240 volts or 230 volts is nominal, 480 volts is nominal for this side. This actually, the electricity on this one right here is going to be coming in at about 500 and, now if we got real accurate, anywhere from 499 to about 505 volts. So it's enough to grab at you and spit at you a little bit. But I got the tape put on there, and the reason I know that's going to be good enough right now, like I say, there weren't enough strands in that one wire that were damaged to affect the amperage rating. One of the ways I know the amperage rating is I look at the nameplate on the motor. Now, I don't know, we might not be able to see it together here, unless we get, there we go. And it'll show us what we've got, and so the amperage right there is what I'm looking for. When this thing is running, it's 40 amps at 240 volts or 20 amps at 480 volts. The amperage and the voltage kind of work off each other. If one goes up by double, the other goes down by double, and that's what we did here. And that wire's plenty big enough to carry the 20 amps that this motor is capable of pulling. So we're good for that. Plus, that tape, electrical tape, this is plastic tape, is rated, I don't think it'll say in here, but my memory tells me that this stuff is rated for about 600 volts per layer, or per thickness of tape. And I've got about 3 to 4 thicknesses of tape on there because I overlapped it as I rolled it on and off. So, like I say, most people won't care about that, but that's for Oscar and for Wes. Actually, Wes has been out here with me before working, so he knows. Anyway, be back. Okay, we got everything all hooked up and back together now. I got one clamp I got to put on that piece of pipe right there running up. But then after that, we're ready to try it. So actually, we're going to try it before that. I'll put that back on here in a minute. That's not critical. So we're going to go and lock it. One of the things we do is we got safety features that we use. In this case, it's like a padlock that locks out what is called a lockout system. And it locks out the disconnect that kills the power. That way to make sure somebody doesn't come along and turn it on while I'm up there and got my hands in the middle of it. I've had that happen. It's kind of exciting. In case you can't tell, it is noisy here. All right. Okay, we're turned back on. Let's go tell the guy we're ready and then let him try it. I'll give him this. Okay, we're ready to try it.
Ready?
Yeah, ya puedo correr.
Let me. I'm gonna go to the angle.
Okay, I'll go up there and wait. See, we got plenty of pest control out here to keep mice and rats down. This right here is the auger that turns. This is what we're driving with that motor. It's spinning an auger. He's going to go get it ready and then we're going to try it, so we'll probably come back. Okay, he's going to go try it. We're going to wait here and watch and see what happens. Hopefully everything happens like it's supposed to. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, I can feel the lower auger running right now. I can feel the vibration of it. Used up its corn. So, any second here, he probably should try this one. It'll start up. Yep. That was interesting. That means there must be some wet corn down in the bottom of it. It loaded down pretty good when it started. But unless something's not right, which I'm pretty sure everything's right, we're bringing corn up that pipe right there, hitting that chute and dropping it right down into that cross auger below us. Yeah, if it's got a load on it, I can tell. So good, everything runs, we're great. Hooray! Now I gotta get my tape off there. All right, bye. All right, and so the corn comes out of that tank, up that auger back there where our motor is, down into this chute right here, into this cross auger, right there, and then goes that way. And once we get in there, I don't know if you'll be able to hear anything. But right now what's happening, this is taking the corn inside the mill, dropping it down in that chute there. There's another auger down below. You can see the dust that carries it across over here. And inside here, right there, there's what's called an elevator leg. It's a belt with buckets on it that goes up to the top, drops the corn into some bins up above, where it starts getting a lot of steam put on it. Now right now they're not running, so it's a lot quieter in here. What they're doing though is they're filling up some overhead storage bins with corn. These machines right here are high pressure rollers that turn that ground corn, or not ground corn, the whole corn, into these corn flakes. This puts it in a way that the cows can digest it. When it's in a whole kernel form, the cattle can't digest it very well, but when it's mashed up like that, then it digests just fine and gives them a lot of the nutrients they need. And this stuff smells good. I love the smell of fresh steamed mashed corn. It's really good. But it comes down these machines, in there, gets rolled out. That's the air compressor. Here's where it comes in. That's where it comes out. Corn flakes, not quite like Post Toasties or Kellogg's, but not real far from it either. From there it goes back up into another bin that's full of corn flakes, and eventually down into this machine right here, which mixes it with lots of other good stuff for cows. Lots of very healthy ingredients. Alright, that's the boiler. That's another boiler. So it's never very cool in here. Even in the wintertime it's good and warm. Alright, well that's about it though. One day later maybe we'll do it. I like this place.